Okay, today is July 17th, 2021. Okay, current physique update. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is the fitness transformation update week 27. So last week I came in heavier at 265.4 and today I was 259.2. So finally broke into the 250s, which kind of surprised me. I thought I'd come in low 260s, 261 or 2. So pleasantly surprised with the progress. The only changes that were really made from last week to this week was basically stayed compliant with exercise, and I made some dietary changes that I mentioned in the last video. And I'll go over right now like what I changed, and it's going to continue to go that direction going forward. I was eating all my food between like 6:30 in the morning and about 11 or 6 in the morning. It's like basically 6 to 11 is was my eating window, or say 6 to noon or something like that. And what I found was that I was having a hard time sleeping. Like, not that I was giving myself enough opportunity, but even so, I was still waking up like multiple times throughout the night, kind of like almost like I was restless. And I think it was because I was like really hungry. So what I did differently was I'm keeping the same general eating window, but then I'm adding a third meal. So I'm cutting back on the 2 meals I have in the morning time to allow myself some calories and macros for later in the evening. This entire week, what I've been eating is gailan, which is Chinese broccoli, and a protein shake, which is made up of 8 ounces of egg whites and a scoop of whey protein. Ideally, I'd like something a little more slow digesting before bed, but I'm eating this about 2 hours out from bedtime, just because I want to give myself an opportunity to maybe like use the restroom again before I go to bed. Before I go to bed, so I don't wake up having to pee in the middle of the night, which hasn't been an issue. I can say that when I give myself the opportunity to sleep now, my sleep quality has been significantly better by adding that last meal in about 2 hours before bed. I think the nourishment it gives me allows my body to relax and get through the night without any issue. So I'm going to continue doing that going forward. I am also waiting on a shipment of some essential amino acids. I'm going to play around with that a little bit to see if maybe I can supplement some of my protein, some of this lean protein that I've been eating, to allow myself to have some fattier cuts with kind of almost like a little bit of a biohack, add in the essential aminos that you'd get from meat in the proper ratios to aid in recovery. And then that would lower calories, because they're lower in calories than eating protein itself, and that would allow me to like eat fattier cuts, So I'm going to play around with that when they arrive. So as of next week, so far they haven't arrived, so it's not an issue. So going into next week, I'm going to continue what I did this week, which was basically 2 pounds of meat and a couple eggs, a few eggs, depends. Basically, the macros is all that matters. At the end of the day, the macros are staying the same: 250 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs. The carbs might be a tiny bit higher because I've been adding in the Chinese broccoli, which has maybe, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10 net carbs a day. I've been eating about 3.5 servings an evening. Last weekend I went to Chinatown with a good friend of mine and experienced gailan for the first time, and it's delicious, and so far I haven't had any issues. The only substitution that I've had to make is, instead of oyster sauce, I've been using soy sauce. Oyster sauce has sugar in it, and not a lot, but like 5 grams. So I just thought it would be better to leave that out. Obviously, it's the weekend, and I eat what I want on the weekend, so I'm going to try it at home probably today or tomorrow with the oyster sauce and see how much better it is. But lately, my Gailan has been like a tablespoon of sesame seed oil along with about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, which is also aided in getting me my electrolytes up for the week, which has been kind of a big problem or issue for me, or concern, because I feel like I haven't quite nailed my fluid intake and electrolyte balance. I'm getting better at it though. So this week went really well. Like obviously the progress shows it. 259.2 down from 265.4. That's 6.2 pounds lost for the week. Super excited about that. And the other thing I did was I decided, originally when this whole diet thing first started, I was going to fast on Sundays, but then it just never worked. And I was like binging on Saturdays, and I thought it'd be better to like, eat reasonable Saturday and Sunday and forego that binging, like that feeling of I have to stuff all this bad food into one day or whatever. As this whole thing's progressed, I've gotten away from the mentality of just eating garbage food, and I'm doing things more in moderation, which at this point in the game I think I have to do in order to keep seeing the progress that I want. So basically Saturdays, Sundays are free days. I just eat what I want. I try to be reasonable with portion. And then what I did this past weekend was after my last food on Sunday, whatever time that is, I didn't eat again until Monday, basically about 2 hours before bed. So I fasted from Sunday night into Monday evening, which wasn't too hard to do. I had the Gailan, and I had a protein shake, which, like I mentioned before, is like 8 ounces of egg whites and a scoop of whey protein. It comes out to like 48 or 50 grams of protein total. So basically I am throwing in a little bit of a longer fast going from Sunday to Monday, and I think that helps deplete the glycogen stores and help me get into ketosis sooner. And that also aids me in getting my electrolyte balance in check sooner also. So I'm going to continue that. So this week it's going to be like cutting off food on Sunday night. Sundays are my day that I typically go ride my motorcycle, and I'm out with my friends. We stop at bars, we get like burgers and fries, get a beer or two. So it's just not reasonable, at least during the winter months, or I should say during the summer months, for me not to stick to it. I mean, I need to be able to eat what I want on Sundays in order to not be miserable. So anyhow, this is working out. I like how I felt this week. All week long I had energy. I felt great. I walked 6 days this week. So today's Saturday. I filmed Sunday's video on Saturdays, Saturday mornings, as early as I possibly can. And the way it worked out is this past week was really great. I walked Monday through Saturday, 3.3 miles a day, so just shy of 20 miles of walking. And I did my resistance band training for like 4 days this week. So everything worked out really well. Satisfied, no complaints. So we're going to continue to try this going into next week and see if the results, I don't think they'll yield the same thing, because I think a lot of my weight fluctuation last week was electrolyte related. So I don't expect to lose 6 pounds next week, but I would like to lose maybe 3. So if I can get down into like the, 256 range or something like that, that'd be great. So that's going to be kind of like my little goal, although I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself. I'm just going to stick with the program and see what the results are. So after tomorrow evening, after my last meal or whatever it may be, I'll go into a fast until Monday evening. I'll have my protein shake and probably this Gailan. I've been loving it, so I'm going to stick with it. It doesn't seem to bother my stomach. I'm not anti-vegetable, but most of them seem to upset my digestion more than it's worth. And I don't necessarily think that we're intended as humans to eat them all the time. If that was the case, they'd be always available. And the only reason they are is because you can go to a grocery store and buy it. So I tend to believe that we're more of a carnivorous creature than people would like you to believe. So as long as the Gailan doesn't cause me any kind of GI upset, I'm going to continue to eat it. And that's really about it, guys. Oh, another cool idea I was thinking, because I usually gain like 10 pounds or 12 pounds every weekend from all of the carbs and sodium. And I thought it'd be kind of fun because I don't necessarily gain any noticeable water weight or fat. I just look actually fuller. So I was thinking maybe next week I would do like a comparison video of what I look like Saturday morning versus like say Monday morning, from like kind of like the whole quarter turn deal, so you can see what like an extra 12 pounds looks like on my frame, not in the form of fat, just I'm assuming just pretty much water. So anyway, that's all I have for this week, guys. Really happy with the results. No other changes are going to be made, and like I said, no real changes have been made to the macros, just how I'm eating it. Instead of having the big deficit with the long fast, I'm doing the same deficit, just spreading out my macros over a larger period of time, so less fasting, and I think maybe that's the ticket. If you're eating at a big deficit, I'm starting to think that putting your meals too close together and having a long fast is maybe not beneficial, is beneficial when you're in a big deficit. And I think for somebody my size, even OMAD is pretty unrealistic, just because the amount of food I have to eat to maintain my body, muscle mass. I don't think it's reasonable. I've tried it. I just feel like a stuffed turkey after eating a huge meal. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. As you guys may have noticed, the current physique update portion of the video was filmed in a different location of my house. The reason being is we have new siding going on the back of our house. We had cedar siding on the back, and the woodpeckers love it, and so we replaced it with hardy board, which is like some kind of a composite concrete, looks like cedar, whatever. But anyway, basically, hopefully it'll last a long time. The creatures in the woods back there won't tear it up. So that's why the change in that portion of the video. I was just trying to be respectful of the people that were like right outside who could look in and that probably don't want to see me prancing around in my boxers. So I changed the location for that part of the film. So it'll be back to the normal location as usual. I try to keep everything consistent from week to week, so at least that way the lighting and stuff doesn't change, because I know that can affect how things appear. So I definitely want to, I will be going back to the old format starting next weekend. So anyway, just wanted to explain why that part of the video may have been different. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for this week. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next week. Take care.